Hello, everyone, and welcome to a quick demonstration where I'm going to show you how I need you to save your Tableau workbooks so that when I grade them on Canvas, I am able to see both your work and it's connected to the data that you used on your local machine. So right now, I am in the extracts demo folder on my desktop, and I'm looking at the Gapminder dataset. So the first thing that we're going to do is connect to this data source. So if I connect to new data source, Gapminder CSV, you'll see I can preview my data as usual. So by default, when you open up a dataset in Tableau, you're in a live connection. That means if I change a value in my data and save that, then if I come back to my dataset and refresh it, the value should change as well. So this is a live connection to this file. That is good news, but that also means that when you submit your files, if the data isn't there, I won't be able to open them, because if I remove the Gapminder from my folder, and then I try to open up the workbook. So imagine I just downloaded your work from Canvas. I, of course, don't have the data that you would have found for any assignments. And then I click on my data source, I will get an error because it says that it cannot find the data that you used. This is because it was using that live connection. So how do we fix that? Let me bring the data back in, and I'll open back up the worksheet, and we'll see that it should work as expected. So now when I click on my data source, everything's all good. I can preview the data. So the way we're going to fix this is by creating what's called an extract. So an extract is just a snapshot of the data. So now when I look back at my sheet, I need to save the extract. So I will save this in the desktop. So you need to save the extract. You'll notice that there's two cylinders up here. So the two cylinders means that you're now using a snapshot of the data rather than a live connection. When it was live, it was just one cylinder. So that's how you can recognize that you're in the extract version of it. So I have the extract now. The last step that you need to do is save your workbook as not a .twb file, but a twbx file. So what this is a packaged file. So it has that hyper file that I saved on my desktop. So the hyper file is a Tableau dataset that Tableau just reads automatically. Just .hyper is the extension. It comes with the twb file, which is your workbook, and the hyper file all together packaged in one nice twbx file. If we have the extract and we save as a twbx file, then when I move the datasets outside of where I had the file, imagine I just downloaded your work from Canvas. When I open up the twbx file, and I click on the data source, I still won't be able to preview the data, but now I can at least still work with the data using that snapshot. So if I put region, let me reopen the twbx file. I can at least still work with the variables, even though I can't access the data source and preview it. So this is what I want you to do for your assignments. Right, if I look at the .twb file, so now this is the one without the extract and without the hyperfile packaged into it. If I look at this file, I should not be able to use any of the variables. So when submitting your work, make sure to save as an extract and convert data to an extract and save as a twbx file.